Welcome back to The Explainer. Look, the traditional way we evaluate enterprise identity platforms, it's basically obsolete. The game has totally changed. So today, we're unpacking the 2026 evaluation framework for the AI agent era. If you're building or buying enterprise architecture right now, you absolutely need to stick around for this.
Okay, let's just dive right into the core thesis here. The identity fabric conversation has moved, and most buyers haven't. It's a massive wake-up call, right? If you're out there evaluating your architecture based on, say, 2020 criteria, stuff like having open APIs or composable services, you are literally going to buy the wrong thing. That battle, it's already won. The frontier has officially moved on.
So here's our roadmap to get you up to speed. We'll hit 1. The new paradigm. 2. Fabric baseline. 3. The maturity ladder. 4. Human versus agent. 5. Vendor evaluation. And finally, 6. Smart migration. Let's get right into it.
Starting off with Section 1, the new paradigm, Wave 1 versus Wave 2.
Think about the first wave, roughly 2020 to 2024. That was really just about decoupling monolithic suites into open, API-first services. But Wave 2? It is a completely different beast. Now we're talking about rigorously governing non-human actors. I mean specifically AI agents that take action, call tools, and move data, without ever even seeing a login screen. And here's a staggering fact from the framework. These non-human actors already outnumber human identities in most enterprises. Crazy, right?
Moving on to Section 2, Fabric Baseline, the price of entry.
So, let's establish the absolute baseline. Consider these 5 properties: being API first, supporting all identity types, using policy as a binding layer, being orchestrated, and allowing incremental adoption. The thing is, these aren't differentiators anymore. They're just the floor. If a vendor fails on literally even one of these 5 criteria, they're basically just selling you a legacy suite with a shiny fabric label slapped on it. This is your absolute price of entry.
All right, Section 3, the maturity ladder, going from siloed to agent native.
The really crucial insight here is where reality actually collides with vendor marketing. See, Level 1, Suite Consolidated, is where most enterprises are actually stuck today. But if you look at vendor marketing, they're out there actively describing Level 2, those first-wave fabrics, while heavily implying they've got Level 4 capabilities. It's kind of wild. The real transition that actually matters right now, that's moving from Level 3 into Level 4.
Actually, let's specifically define this Level 4 state because it is the 2026 dividing line, agent native. What this means is the exact same spine governs AI agents by construction. It enforces identical policy and proof to humans right at the exact point of action. We're not talking about some guardrail added as an afterthought here. Governance has to be built directly into the execution. A vendor can be absolutely amazing at Level 2, but completely lack a credible Level 4 story.
Let's hit Section 4, Human versus Agent, Tier 1 and Tier 2 capabilities. Honestly, this contrast is everything. Tier 1 is what you probably already know. Identity and access. It's the established consensus on who someone is and, what doors they can open. But Tier 2, that's where the field actually separates today. Action and evidence. If Tier 1 is about getting into the building, Tier 2 governs what a non-human actor actually does once they're inside, and exactly how every single outcome is proven. In 2026, you absolutely must evaluate Tier 2 as a completely distinct set of services.
Okay, Section 5, vendor evaluation, the probes. Let's arm you with some tough questions.
First up, to test for true API parity, the framework suggests asking vendors this exact question. Name one capability that exists only in your console. I love this one, because if a vendor names a feature that you can only access through their graphical user interface, well then it fundamentally isn't a true fabric capability, period. Everything has to be reachable via documented APIs.
Here's your next probe. Show me the authorization record for an AI agent's tool call and a human's access request, side by side. Same engine? This question just cuts right through all the marketing fluff. It reveals if the vendor actually has one unified spine across both human and machine callers, or if they've just kind of bolted 2 different engines together behind the scenes and hoped you wouldn't notice.
Now, when it comes to governed execution, ask them this. Can this control be defeated by forgetting to wire it? It's a huge deal, because if forgetting to wire a control breaks it, then the control is really just advisory. It's an inspection point, not true enforcement.
A real 2026 identity fabric enforces security exactly where the action runs, automatically, by construction, no exceptions.
This next concept is so fascinating to me. Ask them, at runtime, walk me through exactly what credential material the agent holds. As the framework says, you can't steal what was never handed over. This is testing for capability without custody, meaning an AI agent should never ever actually hold the underlying secret or token. The fabric should broker that action securely on its behalf, which completely eliminates these massive attack vectors.
Finally, Section 6, Smart Migration, Per-System Coexistence.
Look, understanding all this theory is great, but how do you actually adopt this without triggering some disastrous multi-year rip and replace of your entire IT environment? The secret is per-system coexistence. A true fabric is adopted in modes and migrated per system, never as a single cutover. It allows the new architecture to move incrementally, right alongside your incumbent legacy systems.
So you progress each connected system completely independently through 3 distinct steps. First, observe. The fabric just reads and reconciles while the old system works. No harm, no foul. Second, govern. This is where the new fabric starts making the decisions, but the legacy system still handles the actual provisioning. And finally, own. The fabric completely takes over deciding and provisioning. By holding different systems in these different states simultaneously, you can modernize at a pace your enterprise will actually fund. It's brilliant.
To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final kind of provocative gut check for your own enterprise architecture as we step fully into the AI era. Look at your current vendors right now and ask yourself, is my platform genuinely governing agent action, or is it just managing human access? Because answering that question honestly, that is the true test of whether you are actually ready for 2026. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.